Most scary stories happen in places we already fear. Dark forests, abandoned buildings, empty roads at midnight. Places we have learned to avoid. Places that feel wrong before anything happens. But the three stories I am sharing with you tonight happened in places that felt completely safe. A campsite in a forest on a summer evening. A home someone had just purchased and was making their own. A hotel room in a normal city on an ordinary night. Three places that should have been safe. Three moments that proved nowhere really is. Let us begin. Our first story was submitted by a park ranger I will call David. David has worked in the same national forest for 14 years. He knows that forest better than almost anyone. He told me that in 14 years he has seen things that surprised him, things that concerned him, but nothing that truly frightened him until last summer. During a routine patrol in a restricted area of the forest, his team came across a campsite. The restricted area is closed to the public. No permits are issued for it. Nobody should have been there, yet there it was. A fully set-up campsite in a small clearing. The tent was still standing. The campfire was still burning. A cooking pot was suspended over the fire. Food still cooking inside it. Steam rising. 4 camp chairs arranged around the fire, all empty. 4 sets of personal belongings arranged neatly around the campsite. Backpacks, sleeping bags inside the tent, phones on the camp chairs, wallets, car keys, everything. David told me it looked exactly as if 4 people had been sitting around that fire and had simply stood up and walked into the trees, in the middle of cooking dinner, without taking anything with them. His team searched the surrounding area immediately. They called out. They listened. Nothing. Just the forest, and the sound of the food still cooking over the fire. They searched for 3 days, expanded the search area further than protocol required, found nothing. No footprints leading away from the campsite in any direction. No signs of a struggle, no signs of any disturbance in the surrounding trees. Nothing, no distress call was ever made from that area. No missing persons report was ever filed matching 4 people in that forest that weekend. Nobody came forward to claim the belongings. Nobody was ever identified. Nobody was ever found. David told me the thing that has stayed with him more than anything else in the 2 years since ... is the food. Still cooking over the fire when they arrived, still warm, still perfectly edible, as if whoever had left had only just done so, moments before his team arrived. He told me sometimes he wonders if they were still there, somewhere just beyond the firelight, watching as his team walked into the clearing. Our second story was submitted by a woman I will call Rachel. Rachel and her husband purchased an old house last year. The house was over 100 years old. It needed significant renovation. They were excited. It was their first home together, a project they were looking forward to. Several weeks into the renovation, workers were removing an interior wall. Standard demolition, nothing unusual, until one of the workers stopped and called Rachel over. Inside the wall cavity, between the studs, was a sealed envelope, old, yellowed, no name on it, no date, sealed with wax. Rachel opened it carefully. Inside was a single piece of paper, a hand-drawn map. She looked at it for a moment and almost set it aside. It looked like a child's drawing, rough lines, basic shapes, an X marked in one corner. Her husband took it from her and studied it for a long time. Then he looked up at her. He recognized the layout. It was their property. Exactly their property. Every boundary line correct. The house in the right position. The garage they had added 2 months after moving in. The garden bed Rachel had planted in the spring. Details that could not have been known when that map was drawn. Details that did not exist when that wall was built. The X was marked in the far corner of the backyard, near the old oak tree. Rachel's husband wanted to call someone. An expert, the previous owners, someone. Rachel wanted to dig. She won. 3 feet down they found a metal box, old, rusted around the edges, but sealed. Her husband opened it. Inside was a single item, a photograph, printed on normal photo paper, recent, of their house, taken from outside, from the street. At night, the lights in the bedroom were on. Rachel recognized the lamp silhouette in the window. Her lamp, the one she had bought 3 months after moving in. The photograph had been taken within the last 3 months and placed inside a box buried 3 feet underground in a backyard, found inside a wall that had not been opened in decades. Rachel told me she and her husband discussed it for a long time. Every possible explanation, every rational scenario. They found none that worked. She told me they sold the house 4 months later. She said she could not stop thinking about who had taken that photograph, and how it had gotten into that box, and how that box had gotten into that ground, before the photograph was even taken. Our final story is one that I have thought about many times since it was submitted, because of what it implies about the world around us. A woman I will call Claire was at home on a Thursday morning when she received an email. Her email address, her home address, a 2-night stay, itemized charges, everything exactly as a real checkout receipt would look. The hotel was in a city 400 miles away, a city Claire had never visited. She picked up the phone and called the hotel directly. The front desk confirmed a guest had checked in under her name, with her exact details, her address, her phone number, her date of birth, all used at check-in. Claire asked them to describe the guest. The front desk agent described her height, her hair color, her approximate age, the gray jacket she wore most days, described with a level of accuracy that made Claire sit down in her kitchen. She checked her calendar. She had been home both nights. She had not traveled. She had not left the city. Her neighbor had seen her both mornings. Her car had not moved from the driveway. The hotel offered to send her the security camera footage from check-in. She said yes. The footage arrived by email that afternoon. She opened it. A woman approaching the front desk, pulling a small suitcase, signing the check-in form, looking up briefly at the camera as she took the room key. Claire watched the footage 3 times. The woman at the desk had her face. Not similar, not resembling. Exactly her face. Her features, her mannerisms, the way she tilted her head when she listened, the way she held her bag on her left shoulder. All of it exactly her. Police investigated. No fraud charges were filed because nothing had been stolen. The room had been paid for in cash. No camera footage existed of the guest leaving. The hotel had no record of the guest after checkout. No further sightings. No explanation. Claire told me she thinks about it every time she is home alone at night, knowing that somewhere out there, something wearing her face moves through the world, checks into hotels, signs her name, and disappears. And she has no way of knowing where it is right now, or what it is doing, or how many times it has done it before. 3 places that felt safe. A campsite on a summer evening. A home being made into something new. A hotel room in a normal city. 3 moments where something reached in and made them unsafe. 4 people gone without footprints. A photograph buried before it was taken, and a face moving through the world without its owner. The world is full of places that feel safe. Most of them are, but some of them are only safe until they are not. Stay safe tonight, and if something feels wrong, trust that feeling, even when everything looks normal.